Rickey Smiley Morning Show. The most funny in the morning. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Just another day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Ladies and gentlemen, the senior pastor of Friendship West Missionary Baptist Church, Dallas, Texas, Pastor Frederick Douglass Haynes. Pastor Haynes, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Rickey Smiley and the Rickey Smiley Morning Show family. You know I love you. I pray for you. I praise God for you and how you get our days off to the best start with a smile on our face and joy in our hearts. Listen, today I want to deal with Travis Green's Made a Way. Listen, this is so powerful and so appropriate because in one line in the song he talks about how our backs often against the wall when we find ourselves in situations that seem to be impossible, too much for us to handle. And yet it's in those situations that Travis Green testifies and praises God, Lord, you made a way. And listen, that's the word I'm giving to everyone listening right now because someone is tuned in. And you know what it's like to feel that your back is against the wall. You don't know how you're going to get out of what you find yourself in that is unhealthy for you, that is draining you, that is hurting you and hindering you. Listen, we serve a God who can make a way. This message goes out to someone who finds themselves in an insufferable situation that is so bad that you really don't know how this is going to turn out. Listen, here's the good word. God is in the way-making business. What does it mean? It means at least these things. Number one, when you know God is a way maker, you know that whatever is too much for you, it's tailor-made for God. I like that right there because there are some situations, listen, where they are just too big for us. But anything too big for you, it's tailor-made for God. God can handle it. God can deal with it. God is greater than your haters. God is greater than your disease. God is greater than that situation that is trying to hold you back and keep you down. God is bigger than all of that. God is in the way-making business, and the good news is whatever is too much for you, it's just right for God. I got to tell you one more thing, and that is God as waymaker lets me know that every now and then what I need to do is learn how to wait with the expectation while I wait, God is making a way. I love that right there. Wait is not some passive endurance of what's going on. No, wait is endurance with expectation that God is moving in your situation. Wait is expectation that God is bringing good out of what appears to be bad. Wait is expectation that God is going to have the last word. Here it is, y'all. I know it may feel impossible to you, but it is downright possible for Almighty God. And the testimony is, Lord, you made a way.
There it is, Pastor Haynes, man, the senior pastor of Friendship West Missionary Baptist Church. Let's get into this music. Love you, Pastor Haynes.
Yes, sir. Love you, Ricky. Have a great one.
Yes, sir. You too. Let's go. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Entertainment. Sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, 14 minutes after the hour. Alfreda's, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. It's Tuesday, May 20th. Here's what's going on in the news. Trump gave his first reaction to Biden's cancer diagnosis yesterday. And yeah, it was real Trump.
I'm surprised that it wasn't, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time.
So either he doesn't know that there are only 4 stages of cancer, or he's making a joke. But who would joke about cancer? Either way, it was awkward and nobody laughed. So Trump then flipped it back to himself, bragging about acing a full physical and cognitive exam. Meanwhile, Biden's only public response has been on X, saying that cancer touches us all and thanking people for the love. Biden's son, Beau, died of brain cancer back in 2015. A Mexican Navy ship slammed into the Brooklyn Bridge over the weekend, killing 2 crew members and injuring 19 others. Officials say the tall training vessel lost power and crashed into the underside of the bridge. The Coast Guard says it was fully operational at the time, pushing back on what Senator Chuck Schumer is saying. He's blaming a government hiring freeze for that incident. The NTSB is now investigating and the bridge has reopened. Talk about a hard head. A 2-year-old in Silver Spring, Maryland, survived a 15-story fall. Police say the toddler fell from a balcony and somehow landed in mulch and bushes, walking away with just a broken arm and a few bruises. Doctors say it's a miracle, but investigators are trying to figure out how the child fell in the first place. For info on these stories and more, go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com. Now, here's a look at sports.
Rock T, the sports genius, is in the building.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Game 1 of the NBA Western Conference Finals tips off tonight. Minnesota versus Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, indeedy, man. Make sure y'all tune in for that. U.S. basketball player Jared Dwayne Shaw. Check this out, man. He played for Oklahoma State and Utah when he was in college, now playing in a pro league in Indonesia. Was arrested for allegedly attempting to smuggle illegal drugs to the country, cannabis, candies, and gummies. Now, Indonesia has extremely strict drug laws. Here's where it gets interesting. He's facing up to life in prison or the death penalty.
Oh, my
where is this?
gosh.
Indonesia. Now, they sometimes do execute by firing squad.
Oh.
Still?
Mark that off my list of places to go this year.
Right?
Man, come on. So, we'll keep y'all posted, but they got him locked up right now, and it's up to life in prison.
Oh, my gosh.
Or death penalty. Real quick, man, the Boston Celtics, they was eliminated from the playoffs, of course, by the Knicks, but there's a video that's gone viral over the Celtics superstar Jaylen Brown appearing to have grabbed the private part of New York Knick Josh Hart on purpose. So this is my holla at your boy moment of the day, man. Y'all go check it out. Go check it out on my social media at Rock T Holla. Y'all watch it for yourself. Do you look like he did it on purpose, intentionally? He violated man law right there, man.
It happens.
Say, dog.
It does?
No, dog. What you talking about, man? That was Special K that said that. It's my quick sports report. Brad, what you got coming up next in the hot
That's
spot?
right. Make sure you tell who that
That was Special K who said that.
That was not me. Day six of the Diddy trial is underway, and I got the details up next in the hot spot on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The hot spot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. So hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot.
It's the BR18.
I'm John Rickey Smiley Morning Show, 29 before the top of the hour. Y'all time for the hot spot. What up, Brett?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brad Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Well, y'all, it's day 6 of the witness's testimony in the Diddy trial. It is in the books. Danity Kane singer Dawn Richard was the first on the stand yesterday, and she testified that Diddy made threats about having people killed if they didn't listen to him. And she also testified to the jury that she saw Diddy with drugs and guns. Cassie's former friend, Carrie Morgan, was up next on the stand, and she testified about Diddy not assaulting just Cassie, but also herself. She also brought up Diddy being jealous when Cassie started talking to Michael B. Jordan during a break in their relationship. Diddy's defense has not shied away from the domestic violence testimony, but he is not being charged with that. Diddy's former assistant, David James, was the last to testify, and he recalled a couple of convos where he said he had with Cassie, including where he said, "Why don't you just leave?" And she said, "I can't get out." So the assistant also said that Diddy said that that Diddy had Cassie right where he wanted her because she was young and moldable. Oh, my goodness. Testimony will resume Tuesday when prosecutors are expected to call Cassie's mother as a witness, among others. Whew, it's just a lot going on in this case. Oh, man, but if he's not being charged with that, I guess they're just establishing him to try to be a monster.
Yeah.
Because he not being charged with domestic violence, right?
No, I think it's all they're painting a bigger picture.
That's right.
Okay.
It's all to paint a bigger picture.
I know in the evidence I saw just now that they showed some bruises, like on the butt cheek, like somebody being kicked or whatever, and then like some a little bit of blood and stuff, like on the upper shoulder side. They just showed that a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's
whatever. That stuff, but the stuff like that, it sticks with the jury's mind.
It does.
They ain't gonna forget that.
That's not good at all. All right, y'all, let me get this quick story in. Megan Thee Stallion is addressing the ongoing harassment and misinformation surrounding the 2020 incident involving Tory Lanez. In a recent TikTok post, Megan expressed frustration writing, "At what point are y'all gonna stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory?" She said the facts were established in court and Tory was convicted for assault with a semi-automatic firearm, negligence discharge, and carrying an unregistered firearm. She also addressed claims that his legal team for suggesting that the former friend Kelsey Harris was the actual shooter. She says these claims are part of a hate campaign. She told Tory and his supporters to stop spreading false narratives and said, Tory, please leave me alone, you freaking demon.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, he locked up, she trying to move on with her life, and it's still going on.
See, stuff like that don't help during a parole hearing. If you in jail and y'all back and forth, and that stuff get to the parole board or whatever, and decisions have to be made, that's not going to make the parole board feel sorry for you. You're not going to get out.
That's right.
You need to be in there focusing on, like, furthering your education, getting certified for something, leading a church group, a prayer group or something. No, seriously, I'm not even,
I know.
You need to be in there just minding your business and stand away from your victim.
Going to school, class,
and don't
whatever
talk
you
about
do.
it. Don't
take
I have
up
no
mechanics,
comment.
write a book.
Anything.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy.
Anything.
But on Megan's behalf, I mean, isn't that all we know Megan by from being shot?
No.
Oh, really?
Crazy.
Bye, Gary. Bye, Gary.
Must ain't seeing her walk across the stage.
I know her from her videos.
Bye,
I
Gary.
don't even put the sound up.
And she's looking
Actually
amazing
talented.
lately. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap up the hot spot on that note. But for more information on these stories and more, you can go to Rickey Smiley Morning. Gary said. Why would you say that?
I mean, because I don't know any of her songs.
Oh, my
You don't
God.
know none of my songs. You don't know nobody's songs but Diana Ross.
Right.
Y'all hit us up for them wake-up calls at 866-9-RICKY. That's 866-9-RICKEY. The time now is 25 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, time right now is 10 before the top of the hour. Alfreda's, good morning.
Hey, Ricky, listen. It is hard to force cats to do anything they don't want to do, so maybe this cat wanted to be a drug mule? Prison officials in Costa Rica caught a cat trying to smuggle drugs behind bars last week. They captured it climbing over a fence with 236 grams of marijuana and 68 grams of heroin strapped to its back. Now, they cut the drugs off the cat and handed it over to animal care to have it checked out. The cat is okay and is not facing any charges. And they're searching through security footage to find out who's behind the cat mule. And it probably wasn't the sharpest person because the cat is mostly white and was unleashed at night, making it easier to spot.
I wonder how many cats snuggle drugs in the prison.
You know what, though? I have a cat who won't even look at me when I call its name. So the fact that they got this cat to do all this, I mean, I don't know. It's weird.
How many cats walked in prison with drugs in them?
Right? Wait a minute.
Stay away from the white cats.
Cough.
Wait a minute.
Say what, Brett?
I say none after you squat and cough.
This is a tough pill to swallow, but favor ain't free. Grace will cost you something. God's favoring you will lead other people to despise you because you walk in a favor that they don't have, and they can't understand how you keep getting where you are other than God has chosen you and God has not chosen them, and it leaves a bad taste in their mouths. You can't be favored and liked. You can't be anointed and popular. You can't walk in grace and think that everyone's going to stand by you. So here's a word for somebody. The opposition against you is confirmation of the favor on you.
Hold it! Half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
Gary has a T. And
That ain't how that work.
What you mean that how it works?
They start asset forfeiture. They
It's
come
called
in
what?
and take asset forfeiture.
Okay.
They'll come in and take all your things that you own, anything that you got that's of value. The government can come in and take it. Under RICO, that's a real broad charge.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you have to have small hearings to get those charges dropped
They
in
can
order
come
to
and
give
take
you
all.
access to that stuff.
Yeah.
But like if they let him use a computer, he could just sign it over to you?
No, no. That's not how that works.
Oh, really?
No.
How it work?
No. I mean, I'm saying it's like drug dealers. The big time drug dealers, they come in and take houses and cars and all
Right.
that. They say, oh, well, you put it in your mama's name. Well, if it wasn't done prior to you catching the charge,
right?
Then you can't do it
Yeah, you
after
just
the
can't
fact.
go
You
put
can't
it in
just
your
go
mama
sign
name.
over to your mama name.
Right.
If it wasn't originally in her name, then it's considered an asset, and they will seize it.
Oh, poor Daddy, bless his soul, honey. Well, we're gonna follow that story and see how that Mama Combs don't get in them children. Them children went to the prom.
Well, he's still
the
worth
other
about
day.
$400 million, so he ain't no poor thing yet.
Because the kids went to the prom and they look nice, like they had nice expensive dresses, and they looked like they had a great time. So I think he should give them something. Let that. I don't know how that legal stuff goes, special case, but anyway, you used to it. But anyway, moving on. In other celebrity news, y'all, Cassie. Now we got Cassie back in the now. We know Cassie got her settlement. Ricky, I didn't even know they say Cassie only received $20 million from Diddy, but I didn't know this, Tia. Cassie got another extra $10 million from the Intercontinental Hotel.
Oh.
Yeah, baby, they said, baby, Intercontinental Hotel, honey, gave her an additional $10 million. Now, they said the hotel was the site of that disturbing assault allegedly caught on video where Diddy was, honey, seen attacking Cassie in the hallway. They said the footage, which was released to the public earlier this year, sparked outrage and renewed interest in Cassie's case. They say while these settlements don't equal justice in the eyes of all observers, they mark a significant, financial turning point for Cassie. They say Cassie was definitely struggling, honey, financially. They said her and her husband, Alex Fine, they ain't had nothing. They said they was living modestly, honey, before the legal proceedings began. They say now that their fortunes have reportedly changed in a very major way. They say Cassie owns now a beautiful home in Malibu, which is one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in Los Angeles. They say she purchased a beautiful multi-million-dollar condo in Manhattan's West Village. And they say it's a neighborhood known for its luxury real estate and celebrity residents, honey. They say while the internet has mixed reactions, with some criticizing the financial settlements and others praising her for speaking out there, say there's no denying that Cassie's life today looks very different, y'all, from the one that she described in her court filings. Isn't that touching? She came up and
when she was with Diddy, though, she was living, although she abused, allegedly, well, not allegedly, we saw it on tape, but she still was living large. I mean, you just talked about how much money Diddy had.
Yeah, but it wasn't hers, though. Like they said, if it ain't in your hand and your name on it, it ain't yours.
You make a point.
Yeah, so they say, honey, so she was just like renting, just living there, taking up space, but now she got her own place. She got a Malibu place. She got a place in Manhattan, so she's living a good life, and a lot of people saying it's sad that she had to go through such trauma, kickings and everything like that to get money, but we're just gonna keep her lifted up in prayer.
Yeah.
And she got at least $20 million, but $20 million ain't a lot of money, honey, from that situation.
These days it ain't.
No, it's not. If he got a damn jet,
$1
more than
million
that.
back when we was growing up was a lot of
Oh
money.
Lord,
but $20 million, huh?
You were rich if you knew somebody had $1 million. Who had $1 million back when we were growing up?
No,
nobody I knew.
Dr. A.G. Gaston.
Yeah.
He owned the radio station and some funeral homes and that first black-owned bank that they have now, Citizens Federal. That's the only millionaire that's the first mansion I ever saw as a kid or whatever. Lived right outside of my grandparents' neighborhood. Dr. A.G. Gaston.
Wow.
Yes,
Picture was on all the fans. Martin Luther King on the front, Dr. A.G. Gaston on the back.
All right, then. I see his name.
And grandson of a slave. Grandson of slaves came one of the first millionaires. I saw LL Cool J talk about Dr. A.G. Gaston on the national show.
Isn't the airport named after him?
No, the airport is named after Fred Shuttlesworth, who was one of Dr. King's soldiers, and I think he had something to do with the SCLC also. But you Google Dr. A.G. Gaston. I had a chance to meet him. He used to be sitting in the bank when you walk in there in a wheelchair and saying good morning to everybody.
Very cool.
That's the closest millionaire I know, honey, sitting to my left, Brett. Hell, I'm going to touch her hand when I get off this air, honey.
Yeah, Brad, give me cash at me, Brad. Let me wear one of them necklaces tonight.
Yes, honey. Yes, Lord, baby. Functify me, baby. All right, the color today, honey, is my favorite color. My color today is Rosa. On the high end, you say Rosa, and on the low, you say Dusty Pink. That's your color for today. For more information, like
Dusty
you said, more.
Pink.
Dusty Pink. Go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com and follow me at Gary WDTEA on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, give it up for Gary with the T. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. I got your wake-up call. Get at me right now, 8669 Ricky. Here we go.
Here we go. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time to get yourself together. Get it together. You up this morning. You and your house shoes up would be better. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Encourage each other and be productive. Come on. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Wanna know where you calling from? So come on and tell us and just wake up.
My name's Ernest. I'm from Durham. Well, wake up, because Ricky Smiley Morning Show, and to my family in Durham, wake up.
Hi, this is Patricia Sanders of St. Louis, Missouri. I like to say good morning to the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Wake up.
Hey, good morning. It's Misha from Fort Lauderdale. I want to tell all the longshoremen at Local 1526 to wake up. I love you, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Hello, this is Frida Jones. Wake up,
love you.
All graduates. Gabrielle and Caitlin, wake up. Class of 25.
Come on.
What's yours? Because we going to let them know. Let them know this. Richmond, wake up. And Little Rock, wake up. And Tulsa, wake up. Come on, Flint, wake up. In Toledo, wake up. Des Moines, wake up.
Hey, appreciate it, Brad.
Welcome again.
Beyonce, what you got coming up? All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, it is about that time. It is. I'm sorry, Techie.
What?
Strip club threw me off last night. I was sitting. I thought it was another kind of Tuesday. Techie Tuesday.
Don't do that.
I'm finna say something else.
I'm glad you didn't. Good at it.
Don't do me like that. Don't do that.
Beyonce, Ella Wishes in the building.
Good morning. Okay, so I see you have your Ray-Ban glasses with you.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to be excited to know. So Google has their keynote presentation today. Now, why is this important? Well, you're going to have all the Google updates, and they have a new Google glasses, and it's going to be run by AI. And if you saw the video presentation, I'm going to post it on my page. The Ray-Bans are absolutely cool.
I just need to learn how to work them.
Well, we're going to run through those later on today.
Brad won't show me.
But listen, so with the Googles and the video presentation, they said they're going to have more information about it today. But when they wore the glasses, the girl turned around with her key card and left it on the bookshelf. She walked away and she asked the glasses, "Hey, Google, where did I leave my key card?" And the Google AI said, "By the bookshelf, by the blue book." It's crazy. It can remember where you left things. So for all of you clumsy people that leave stuff, you'll be able to ask it. You'll be able to book appointments, all that stuff.
Gary.
But
so,
now, you know what I'm thinking of.
What?
Hey, Google, where I left that man at?
So we'll get more information. It's going to be streaming at 1 p.m. Eastern today. So I'm excited about that. Also, we've always been talking about flying cars. Well, the first mass-produced flying car goes on sale early next year. Now, it's not cheap. It's going to be around $800,000, and that's with all the bells and whistles. And it's not like... Well, it's not like the futuristic one. Like if you're sitting in traffic, you can be like, "Oh, well, I'm just going to lift up and go." You actually still need a runway, and it takes about 2 minutes for the car's propellers to extract and for you to take off. Now, it is pretty cool because you can go 621 miles just off one tank.
Not miles per hour, but miles.
Miles, and it goes up to 155 miles per hour.
Sure.
And you're going to have to still have a flying license as well.
They have those little airplanes that's pretty good. They land on water and on land.
Those are cool. I can see you doing that.
Those, yeah.
Especially because you have your pilot's license.
I don't have my pilot license. I'm working on getting my pilot license, but I definitely fly.
Okay, well, that's, still very cool.
I don't believe I can fly. I can fly, bro.
You had us in that plane with no pilot license.
Yeah.
Wait,
something?
You had us in that plane with no pilot license?
He had a co-pilot.
Flying dirty.
Jesus is my pilot.
You know what?
Jesus is my... Don't you believe in Jesus?
And listen, in this day of age and stalking and everything else, have you ever wondered if you clicked on a link or if you have an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend stalking you? Well, these are 5 tips you need to watch out for that somebody is tracking your phone. Okay. And I also posted these in my stories, and I'm going to tell you now so Dave doesn't hit the button and go. At Beyonce ATL is the full link to it. But if you notice that your battery in your phone is always going really fast, you need to check it. If your phone gets hot when you're not using it, that could also be a sign that someone's tracking you. If you look at your phone bill and you see that you have a sharp increase in data usage, that is another sign. Number 4 is if you get strange texts or notifications like UPS mail and all that all the time. And lastly, if you're sitting around, you're not using your cell phone, and you notice that the screen is going on and off, that means someone could be accessing your phone remotely as well. So those are 5 things that you need to watch out for. And a way that you can completely make sure that no one is doing that is you can do a hard reset on your phone or go to your local store. If it's a Google or Android phone, just make sure they check it out and they can do a reset for you. But those are your 5 tips. Next week, we're going to talk about the Google keynote and more, but you can always follow me at Beyonce ATL. And again, in my stories, I put those links to see if someone is tracking your phone.
Right. All right, appreciate that, y'all, one time. And let everybody know how you can be reached or followed.
At Beyonce ATL.
At Beyonce ATL. More Rickey Smiley. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. John Lyon on the ones and twos. Chicken and waffle mix going down. What up, John?
I'm good, man. You don't know that was just a Tuesday, third up mix, man. And of course, hit me up on the gram at JAH Lion. So.
There it is, y'all. Hey, man, all the Classic 102 listeners, man, listen, we're going to be tonight. Tonight is going to be off the chain. Where we going to be, Beyonce?
We are going to be at the Regal Atlantic Station right there in the middle of everything. It is going to be amazing, and the red carpet starts at 6:30.
Yes, sir. And Gary, you need to be sharp.
Oh, yeah.
What you going to wear tonight?
I don't know. I'm going to just dig in my closet. You know, honey, I'll just go through the closet and do anything Shirley do stink. And whatever that lands on.
Don't wear nothing hot. Don't wear that purple label. Because it's too hot for that. I already know what you was thinking about that purple label. That big velvet suit is going to be about 80 degrees.
That's all right. We're going to have air in the building. But whatever I'm going to just wear something, you know, I'm going to just be real. I'm going to let you look decent for a change.
I'm going to kill them tonight now. Okay. All right, y'all, the premiere. That's right, y'all. The premiere in Atlanta for the Foolish
on Hulu.
So damn excited about
May
that,
30th.
Man. Yes, sir. May the 30th. Hey, everybody put that in your May the 30th. Ja.
Yeah, man. Yo, I'm reactivating my Hulu, I promise.
Yes, sir. I actually got mine yesterday. So I didn't have Hulu. I got it yesterday though.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I'm sit down. We're gonna have a great time. Black Tony, hey, you gonna be there tonight?
Hey, what's up, cuz? I'm trying to make it, but I need you to do something for me.
Are you waiting? Let's start with, are you coming to work today?
I need you to do something for me. Y'all finna come by there, but I need to get your key to your apartment real quick for 5 minutes. I need to get the key to your apartment while you at work, because I need my cousin and some of his partners from New Orleans is over here at my grandmama's house with me, but it's too many of us, and I know you got a big apartment. We need to come over there and kick it for maybe a day, maybe just a day, till they figure out what they finna do next.
Oh, that's I think about. Who are your cousin? What's their name?
It's my cousin Lil Said. It's my cousin Lil Said, but he was in New Orleans, and he was in a little situation, son.
Right.
Him and some of his partners came out from their little situation, and they came to Atlanta, and they need to kick it somewhere for a couple of days, and we might need to borrow a little bit of your clothes. Son. You got a lot of clothes. We need to borrow a little bit of your clothes.
What situation though?
Don't do it.
I mean, it's just a little situation. You know, they was in a little, little woo, you know, at the little.
What's woo?
They was over at the little spot over there in New Orleans. So they was over there at the little spot, and they came up out of there. And, you know what I'm saying?
Alfred, what are you talking about?
They just kicking it. It's like...
There were 10 people who broke out of jail. 7 are still on the loose out of New Orleans. So,
Are you talking about the one that got out of jail, Black Tone?
I mean, I ain't trying to put nobody business in the street. That ain't everybody business, ain't everybody business. But these some good people, though.
Some of them were murderers.
I'm saying, well, you know, okay, people, see, Alfreda, you got to listen and don't judge.
Oh.
Some folks have situations, but it ain't always just, you know, you ain't heard the whole side of the story.
Right.
Okay.
I'm talking about these some good guys right here. These some good.
You want them to stay in my apartment?
I mean, just for the day, shout out maybe till tomorrow, maybe till Friday or something like that.
When you let black people stay with you, it ain't gonna be no shorter than 3 months.
No, shout out, I'm talking about now because they got to.
Black Tony, you don't let black people spend a night.
They got to keep it moving, though. I'm just saying we need to just. I need them to borrow a few little clothes.
So you want me to get y'all a police? Want me to get them a police escort over there?
No. We don't need
Hold it! He's half man, half woman. It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
Gary has the tea and the color of the day. Gary, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Tuesday, a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news. Y'all, Keke Palmer is back talking again, y'all. Keke Palmer said, baby, she is emphasizing, y'all, the importance of financial discipline revealing y'all that living below her means is essential, honey, to her long-term security, baby. She said, honey, quote, I live under my means. She said, I think it's incredibly important. She said, if I have $1 million in my pocket, my rent is going to be $1,500. My car note is going to be $340. She said, and I don't need a Bentley, a Bentayga. She said, I ride in a Lexus. She told that to CNBC. Now, they said Keke Palmer's frugal mindset was shaped by her childhood lessons and her parents' sacrifices, y'all. She said, my parents at their best made $40,000 a year. She said, I was making that, honey, a damn show. She said, do you live in a similar money structure? And she went on to say, baby, this is how she gonna live, and it ain't nothing nobody can do about it, and she live below her means. And you know what? It bothers me, though.
What?
When people do that and say that.
Why?
Okay, you live below your means. Okay, and if somebody want to live,
what get on your nerves about it?
Because damn it, that's you. If I want to live, if I want to buy a damn a Hyundai and you want to buy a Toyota, girl, buy what you want to buy and do what you want to do. And so it's like you judging me and trying to tell me, oh girl, I live below my means, and you living like that. And okay, that's fine. And go live how you want to live, honey, and that's good because we're all dead and gone, honey. That money gonna go to somebody else.
Yeah,
somebody. You
can't
decide,
take it with you.
You can't take none of it with you. You decide, well, girl,
I ain't never seen nobody in heaven with some bands.
Never. Okay, honey. You decided, honey, well, girl, I really wanted to eat a steak today, but I ate a hamburger, and you drive dead. Well, girl, you should have had that steak.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
Don't you say that all the time?
What?
You say that all the time. How you don't pay for parking, you live below your means, you eat at Popeye's Chicken, you eat McDonald's.
Yeah, but I don't judge people.
You're judging people now.
No, I'm not judging people now. I'm just saying.
We went to the mall and you seen all them black people in there. You got scared, talking about we need to leave out of here.
Well, but
that was a good life decision, though.
Yeah, okay. Baby. No, sir.
That's judging people.
That sounds
judgy. No, that's just being cautious.
The man that was in the store in the mall that kept coming in and out and looking around or whatever.
Yes, he made me nervous.
That's called good survival instinct.
Yeah, you're damn right, honey. I'm sorry, honey. If you don't look like me, honey, I'm nervous. So,
right.
honey, baby, when you sagging and honey, just looking hard and stuff like that.
And they had a hoodie on.
And having a hoodie on, baby, I'm like,
And
honey.
twisting his hair and walking.
Yeah, and just kept
had that pistol sticking out his face.
Exactly, honey. Yes, sir. So, honey, I mean, you know.
That's judging, though.
That's not judging. That's being very careful, honey. I'm like, they say, follow your gut instincts. My gut instincts told me, honey, if I had a damn $1 million to eat a steak, honey, and not a hamburger that they could find and say, well, you know, I can find to eat a steak, honey, and let the hamburger go. No, so that's that. But anyway, congratulations, Keke. We love you, girl. And you continue, honey, living below your means, honey. Do what you got to do, honey. Then we got to pay that doggone boy child support when you take the baby from you. You're going to wish you did live below your means. That's neither here nor there. Moving on. And other celebrity news, y'all. Wendy Williams, baby. This girl reportedly, y'all, moved to the memory care unit after allegedly sneaking to the rooftop bar and just having a drink, honey, on her 60th birthday. Now, there's a new documentary shedding light, y'all, on the dramatic moment, honey, in Wendy Williams, ongoing health battle. It's called Trapped. What is happening to Wendy Williams? They say it premiered on May the 19th on the ID channel, and it claimed the former daytime host, y'all, was moved to a memory care floor, honey, after sneaking up to a rooftop bar on her 60th birthday for a refreshing beverage. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. They say, quote, Wendy was on the 3rd floor, and, honey, on her birthday, she decided to get in the elevator. They say it went all the way up to the rooftop bar. That was the journalist Diane Diamond said she ordered a drink, and then another one, and she got drunk, baby. They said she had a relapse, child, but it was her 60th birthday. Now, they're saying that incident reportedly led to her being transferred to the locked memory unit. Her treatment is to be sent to a much more restrictive ward, and they say, honey, it's touching.
So they locked her up because of that?
Yeah, because
when they said she wasn't supposed to have nothing to drink.
Yeah, I guess not, though. At least not 2 or 3 drinks. But it was her 60th birthday, honey. She lived to see 60. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd like to me they wouldn't let her do it, but they put this girl, they locked her up, honey. Somebody said they said that some locked up and won't let me out, but nevertheless, she, doing what she have to do.
Wow, Gary.
And just
mumble man.
Wow.
Wow.
But
you had to throw the song in there, didn't you?
Yeah, because it just came to mind.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to keep Wendy lifted up in our prayer because we love Wendy Williams. And I say the TV ain't been the same, honey, since Wendy Williams left, y'all. It has not
that chair,
been.
what they call that chair? The hot topic chair.
The hot topic chair, baby. Miss Williams in her purple chair, honey. That was that, honey. And then my quick for free story, y'all. Ivanka Trump, baby. President Trump's daughter, y'all. They say, baby, honey, her marriage might be over. They say this girl went looking for that NFL player who said that she was beautiful. Now, Rocky there said that the president's daughter, honey, shocked the Philadelphia Eagles staff, honey, when she showed up at the team's facility looking for one Negro. Now, they're saying, y'all, his name is Elias Ricks. Now y'all know who he is. He's one of the Philadelphia players or whatever. They say, honey, when he said that Ivanka Trump was beautiful, she heard it, and they said she had to go find him, and she went to the locker room and left him a note.
Found him.
She found him, and she left him a note, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
She left him a note.
That's what I'm talking about.
She said, honey, her tweet said, "Miss you today, honey, at Elias Ricks, honey." And they said he was all happy about it and stuff,
Yes.
honey. So, but what?
Her dad
Go after
would kill
what you
her.
know.
Her dad
She got a
would-
husband, though. She got a husband, honey.
He lame. She don't like him.
Evidently,
He lame.
Mm-hmm.
Black of the berry, baby.
Yeah, she want a big football player play for the Eagles. You know, everybody seen Donald Trump's son-in-law. You know he ain't tearing that up.
But they say the 23-year-old quarterback was clearly smitten by the president's daughter at the event. But they say, honey, he caught her eye as well as she caught his eye and stuff like that. But they say she brought her 3 children with her, Arabella Rose, Joseph, and Theodore. They said, and those boys carried footballs, y'all, honey, for the players.
But she got to lay in her husband and think about the Philadelphia Eagles. That's worse. Yeah, you let her go, dog.
That's what
Long as she laying in the bed
pounds.
with you thinking about somebody else, that ain't good, man.
I know, but you know what? But that's why they're gonna stop these African American guys from playing football at night. Cause I never forget when I was in broadcasting school, they said, honey, they didn't put black men on the news at night because at night that's the last thing, honey, a European woman saw before she went to bed.
Say, man.
Gary, you a lie.
So that's what they said.
What?
Well, girl, that's what they said. That's why they said they hardly had black men on the news at night. That's what I was told.
It's in the top 3 most nonsensical things you've ever said.
Yeah, well, I'm just
He
telling you.
said that's going to be in their mind when they go to sleep.
Yeah, they go in their mind and look at Ivanka, baby, honey, thinking about Elias, honey, at home, honey, with her good husband.
That's one of your boys, Rick, out of Alabama, Roll Tide.
What position he played?
Defensive back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if he get a hold of her, it's over.
Yeah. He's corn-fed.
Got strong core strength.
You can't compete with that.
That's a problem.
You can't compete with it. You look at her husband and you got a cornerback. He know how to run faster backwards than some people know how to run fast forward.
Cornerback or a strong safety get a hold of him.
If a cornerback, a strong safety, or a free safety, they get your girl, it's over.
Let them have her.
Like you can compete with a defensive end or defensive lineman because they're going to be fat.
Like we used to say in school, defense, attack. Sack that quarterback. ACK, defense, attack. The little day is roast on the hand, you say roast on the lunch, you say beautiful dusty pink. That's your Kalila for the day.
Y'all give it up for Gary with the T.
I love that song.
Did you see that post?
People are talking.
Here's what's trending on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Ricky, well, videos have gone viral of graduations turning into ratchet parties. Graduates can be seen running around, doing TikTok dances, twerking, flipping. Many of the frats and sorority members are strolling and more. And this is all at the graduation ceremony with the cap and gowns on.
Yeah, and y'all know some people on social media have been outraged by this behavior, and a lot of them are wondering why graduations have turned into ratchet parties. However, some people are defending these, young adults, saying they're just celebrating their accomplishments and having some fun.
Yeah, I need to.
Okay. So this morning we want to know what y'all think. Should graduation be a time for a classy ceremony, or is it okay to party a little bit at the graduation ceremony? Call us now and let us know at 866-9-RICKY. That's 866-9-RICKEY.
Let's talk about this for a minute. Now, here's the issue. What are the rules and regulations of each graduation? Some different. Some let you do stuff. Some say don't. And I'm one of those kind of follow the rules type of person. But I understand everybody excited and people that went through trials and tribulation in order to get there. But here's the thing: there, I want all of us to think about. If my daughter is graduating and she wants her name to be heard, and your daughter, because they can't stop and pause for each person. Right. And if True is getting ready to walk across the stage, but Jada that's graduate before True making a whole commotion and True name don't get heard, name get announced, how would that make the parent feel? And I think that's why one of the boundaries they set, because you can't hear the next person or the next two people who their name wants to be heard also.
That's right.
Well, one thing that happened, so my daughter graduated last week from college, my youngest daughter. And one thing they did was with college graduation, they had a limited number of tickets for each graduate. So each graduate had like 4 tickets. So you didn't have like one person that had 20 people there versus one person who had 2 people there. So you wasn't able to make but so much noise when your person's name was called. And it was a pretty orderly ceremony. The kids was excited.
If they got friends and their family is friends, that don't matter. 4 people can go ratchet. And 8 people could go ratchet if they know them and they friends of their family. I know that people be wanting to celebrate and stuff, and they tell you at every graduation, don't do this, don't do that. But people do it anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just feel like, I don't care what they say. We gon' when your name called, we gon' scream. And that is unfair to the next person that comes along if you don't get to hear their name.
Now here's a compromise. Why don't they throw a big after party or after celebration or do all of that at the end?
At the end.
Because there are some ceremonies that's sacred. Like everybody jumped on Marvin Sapp when he closed the door. It's sacred when tithes and offering are being held, or when somebody is giving their life to Christ.
Altar
call. Those are sacred moments. Even in fraternities and sororities, there's some areas of the fraternity and sorority where the doors have to be closed, and it's a sacred part of the moment and ceremony.
But in most graduations, when they get to the part where everybody throw their hats up in the air or whatever, that's when the whole auditorium kind of erupts.
That's at the end. But
at the
during
end.
the meantime,
and it works out well.
People acting a fool.
They still act a fool.
I know. I saw one graduation. This damn guy was coming down to receive his diploma acting a fool. The principal told him, turn back around, and made him turn back around and do it all over again.
Yeah.
That's great.
We have to have some boundaries that are getting out of hand. Now let's talk about the ones where they did boots on the ground when they had the fans. Now, I thought if they made it part of the graduation, they allowed the students to do boots on the ground, and all of the students had fans. It was coordinated, and it just wasn't all over the place, and a bunch of everybody individually doing what they want to do. And you do all things decent and in order. If you want to celebrate, plan it and have it go within the planned ceremony where you can continue to have structure during the whole process. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of my son. That was Virginia State. And then there was one where they tore up the table, the chairs, and they was twerking.
What college was that?
No, it was a high school graduation, and I think it was in Louisiana. And what part of Louisiana? They was twerking, and the chairs was knocked over, and they were just doing the most. And when I tell you, to some people it's embarrassing to them, and then others say, hey, let them. But my question is, where do we draw the line when it comes to stuff like that? Well, there are some things that just don't need to be partied up, lived up, or nothing up. It just needs to be what it is, and then do that afterwards.
Exactly.
Let's go in this facility over here after the graduation and remove the chairs, and then we all gonna celebrate, but not doing the ceremony.
People don't care.
I don't think twerking need to be a part of no graduation. I don't think twerking need to be a part of no graduation.
They would beg to differ in New Orleans. They don't feel like twerking is a dance. They feel like it's part of their culture.
Yeah.
For real. Like it's a celebration to twerk.
Right, across the stage, they go across stage and break it down.
I'm just saying in New Orleans, period.
Yeah, because you're receiving a diploma.
Right.
That's education. That's you know what I'm saying. It's time to go to the next level or whatever. So I think it's a great conversation. Let's go to the phones. 8669 Ricky. Good morning.
Hi, I'm Brittany, and I'm calling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and graduation should be ratchet because a lot of black men don't even make it to graduation, and I'm thankful mine will be graduating on June 3rd. Yay!
Okay, so I think it should be a classy ceremony. I mean, it's professional. You are getting your diploma, but then again, I think it can also be like a fun party kind of, but to a certain extent, you shouldn't be doing too much to the point where it's not feeling professional anymore or classy. It's to a certain extent.
Hi, this is Sean from Indianapolis, and I think high school graduation should stay a classy ceremony, but then do the party afterward.
Good morning. This is Levita calling from Tampa, Florida, and I feel that they should let the kids rock out. They deserve it.
Hi, this is Trina calling from New Orleans, and I just want to say I think it is called classy. We celebrate everything in Louisiana, so why not celebrate graduation and accomplishment? We've been bringing bullhorns and screaming and yelling and acting a fool for decades. A lot of graduates time to do their thing, too.
Now, I got an idea. I have a great idea. if you want to have a regular classy graduation, split them up. If you feel like you're going to do that, then they can have. I think they should have a ceremony just for that. Because I want my child and my niece and my nephew name to be heard and stuff. And if you want to celebrate one way, maybe you'll have a separate graduation for the ones that want to celebrate, scream, and dance, and then you have one for because I know my grandparents would. We just ashamed of nothing and offended by everything. You're offended when somebody set boundaries and say, hey, do not hold your round of applause until all the graduates graduate. That's the boundary. That's the boundary. Okay, you might not like it. I don't like red lights when ain't no cars coming.
You could say that, but child, these people, they still gonna do it because they gonna celebrate their child. Even no matter how many times you said, if it was at a church, they would still do it.
Yeah.
And at least you say it.
Because I went to a college graduation and they was like, please hold so we can hear everybody's name. Child, when them black people walked across that stage, they was up and screaming. The friends of the families were screaming.
So what happens is people that got home training and respect boundaries get mixed up with people that don't respect boundaries, and that's the problem.
That's true.
And that's just real. I know this is not popular. I know I'm going to get dragged on the internet. I don't give a damn what nobody say or whatever. I don't think I'm better than nobody. But I'm just the type of person, the way I was raised, when somebody say don't do something, then don't do it. Problems don't come until... And now let's talk about this, take it a step further. If they say don't do something and you do it and you're asked to leave, then everybody's mad at the reaction.
That's true.
Let me tell you something. That's what happened at my son's school. He graduated last year, and one family lost their minds, and they were quickly escorted out of the building because they don't play.
Archie, we can take your calls on the other side, 8669 Ricky Smiley Morning Show. That just graduated 2 weeks ago. Brian, his son, graduated 2 weeks ago. The school did not ask us not to applaud, etc. They start number one, they started on time. Number two, they paused between each graduate to allow for screams, etc. Number three, audience members behave. Number four, graduates represented themselves and their families in a positive manner. He said, in closing, in my opinion, yes, this is a celebration, but mine should not interfere with yours, and yours should not interfere with mine. And that's from Brian White. And my thing is with this whole thing is everything works perfect. Everything works perfect when everybody, listen to this, here it comes. Can I get a drum roll, Super Dave? I need a drum roll for this. It's going to hurt you. Everything works perfect. Everything with everything in every single situation works perfect. When? Are y'all ready? When everybody do what they're supposed to do. It's that simple.
Right.
Because nothing goes wrong until someone does what they're not supposed to do. That's when things go wrong. It's simple. It ain't hard. It's not hard. How many? You had an accident at the car at the cross section. Why?
Because somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do. Which
By running
a red light.
Running the red light. Whenever anybody in any situation don't do what they supposed to do, then it goes bad.
Yeah.
I was in Home Depot. Anyway, I was in there. The young lady don't represent a great company. She said, I'm going to help you ring your stuff up. I said, fine. She said, I'm going to call my mom. I said, don't do that right now because we're I said, it's going to go bad. I said, this situation is going to go bad, and we're doing a business transaction. I got my credit card out, and you're trying to help me ring up stuff. We had a lot of little small items like light bulbs and this, that, and she was just doing too much. I said, hey, can you move away? Can you go over there? And she started doing too much. She got her mom on the phone, turned around on FaceTime, and then she sat there at the register and talked about me to her mom like he don't want to be bothered, right? And stuff while I'm trying to. So I told everybody to freeze. I said, everybody just freeze, and we're going to let her get through doing what she's doing on the phone with her mother, putting the phone on her face. Oh, I thought she was talking about somebody. She started trying to roast and all that kind of stuff. Then she got embarrassed, and she went all the way to the end. And I said from the beginning, I said, don't do that. It's not a good idea. Any question that you want to ask me or picture or anything, I would do it after the business transaction is over. Right. She didn't respect the boundary. because I knew what was going to happen. I left out feeling bad. She left out feeling bad. The other lady that worked there was embarrassed. Everybody that was working stopped because somebody decided to not to respect a boundary.
Right.
Go to your therapist if you don't know what a boundary is. Read up on what a boundary. A bra is a boundary.
Right.
It keep them things sitting up high.
Wait, come on, how did we get here?
So underwear is a boundary.
Wait,
Boy, keep them cheeks together. Because some of them gon'
wobble wobble.
Wobble wobble.
Wow.
Let's go to the phones. 866-9 Ricky. Good morning.
Hey, this is Gabrielle from Deltona, Florida. I just want to say I think it should be okay for them to dance across the stage because they've been through enough already throughout the years, like COVID and just social things going on. I feel like they should be able to go ahead and dance across the stage and accept their success. You know, it's their success.
This is Natasha. I am calling from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I think it should be the biggest party ever. That is a great milestone. That is a time to celebrate. The old traditional way is not getting it. I graduated 25 years ago, and they wanted us to be so quiet and all clap at the end. Love everything that I'm seeing with the grand celebrations for graduation. So keep the party going.
My name is Lisa, and I'm calling from Cincinnati. When I first saw the video of the kids celebrating, I did kind of think like, yeah, no, they shouldn't be doing that. But then I thought about it. That's their time. That's their time to celebrate. We're so used to tradition and doing things how our parents did it and their parents did it, and everything's got to be formal and walk straight and smile. And let them have a good time. First of all, we don't even know what they went through to get through that moment, how hard it was. Because some of us, we went through turmoil to, just to make it to graduation. Young teenagers with kids and all of that stuff. So I'm like, let them celebrate. I didn't see nothing get tore up. The most they did was took off their shoes and threw their hats in the air.
Well, hell, shout at church then. I'm just saying. But okay, so everybody talking about tradition as if tradition is bad. Everybody, let's talk about that. You know what? Instead of doing the chicken and waffle mix, we're gonna bring this over to the other side because we just can't. We're gonna have to let this breathe a little bit. All right, because we'll talk about that. Does tradition mean lame? Is tradition? We'll take more of your phone calls if you want to get into tradition or whatever, because it's a way to do anything. I'm just saying, do what you want to do, but should you? See what I'm saying? All right, let's go to the phones. 866-9 Ricky. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. We still talking about graduation ceremonies, and they seem to gotten out of control. Many of them have turned into, now I didn't write this, but they said ratchet celebrations. And we need to look up the definition, the ratchet, with twerking, dancing, flipping, strolling, and more. So this morning we want to know, what do y'all think? Hit us up at 866-9-RICKY, 866. And this segment is being brought to you by, Just Because You Can Don't Mean That You Should Productions. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Oh, we ain't got no calls? Y'all hung up? We still talking about it. Go ahead, Kay, you was about to say what?
Yeah. I mean, somebody said something about tradition and that sometimes we don't need to stick to tradition, but sometimes we do need to stick. I was at church Sunday.
Hold your mic. Turn your mic.
I was at church Sunday, left out of the sanctuary to go use the restroom at a time when it was allowed. Came back and I wasn't listening. Didn't realize they were actually in prayer, and I unintentionally grabbed the door handle to open it back up to go back to my seat. At the last second, I realized what I was about to do, and I stopped. Because the usher had prepared himself to hold the door to not, let me just open it in the middle of the prayer. And I caught myself, and I'm like, let me stop. Let me wait. Right. Now, could I have bum rushed anyway and walked in there and passed it? Because it's tradition, I still can go back in there and sit down because she ain't going to stop me or he ain't going to stop me.
Right. And
out of respect for the tradition of not walking in during prayer, I just stood there for an extra minute or two.
Right.
And waited to go sit down.
And the definition of ratchet, calling someone ratchet, has historically meant that you think that they have no class and lack of proper upbringing, but they don't know it. So that's the definition.
Yeah. Well, that's people calling themselves ratchet then.
Huh?
Well, that's people calling themselves ratchet, so they saying that they don't have no class?
People
I
take
think-
pride in being ratchet.
Yeah, and I think people when they say we don't have to follow the traditions. I think maybe they're tired of the pomp and circumstance of it all. You know,
Mhm.
maybe they like the tradition, but that's maybe what they don't like.
Well, create a separate ceremony.
Yeah.
Create a separate ceremony. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just can't do everything. And if everybody, and let me give you another example for the road. If they had no red lights and green lights, and if they had no lines in the streets, and everybody get to drive on whatever side of the road they want to drive on, those are boundaries.
People think that's different, though. People feel like that is different. That's not like graduation. Graduation is a celebration. Just like Kay said, he was going in church and the usher stopped him. But what if that person really didn't want to miss prayer and was like going in anyway so they could get out and sit and catch some of the prayer?
Right.
Are they wrong for that?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, what, Gary?
No, I was just saying something different. We separated with my class reunion. We had the class reunion. One part of the class wanted to do this here, and then we had the classic part of the class that I was part of, and we wanted to do this. We separated.
But y'all grown folks, y'all pay for that.
We sure
These schools
did.
ain't paying for two ceremonies, one ratchet and one classy. They're not going to do that.
Well, honey, I will take my money then,
Except
honey.
one ratchet.
Yeah, because it's sad because we had the ratchet too, and we
Sign
had the
up here.
class, and we separated.
Yeah.
Sign up
you
here
wanna
for ratchet
dance-
and sign up here for classic.
All right, let's go to the phones. Good morning.
Yes, my name is George. I'm out of Youngstown, Ohio. Hey, here in Youngstown High School, Ursuline Parochial School spent $40,000 for the school. Even though we did not clown and act a fool, but for $40,000 a year, she could have definitely danced across the stage. Absolutely no twerking, but let them celebrate some type of way. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Good point.
It's not okay for it to turn into a party because there's a difference between a celebration and a ceremony. If you go to a wedding is a ceremony. So if you don't, if the guy's saying his vows, you don't say, woo, 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 yeah. You wait. You abide by the rules of the actual event. That's what a ceremony is. So if you go out there and holler in that person's name, you are disrespecting the ceremony. That's why they have a reception after a wedding. So you can celebrate the person. You celebrate the person after the fact.
Yo, this Darius Bradford. I know I'm supposed to be at work, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think they should start charging. I think there should be a fee, an active food fee. I bet you the parents get it together then. I bet don't nobody want to pay that. That's a cost to everything. And I think there should be an active food fee at graduation in order to get your diploma. So if you act a fool afterwards, you need to hide your money.
Now that second caller said something important.
Yeah.
Celebration versus ceremony. And that is the crux of this entire conversation.
You said that.
Now he cleared that up. He said the difference between a celebration versus a ceremony. What's on the program? What's on the program? Now people gonna start looking at obituary. Homegoing celebration, homegoing service, homegoing ceremony.
Oh, Lord.
Right.
Lord.
What did you say, Brad?
Oh, Lord.
Because some funerals are turn-ups.
Oh, man, the Africans, they standing them up out the casket.
Come on now. They ain't doing nothing
They
traditional.
had one dude sitting on the motorcycle.
Come on now.
Died in a motorcycle accident. Now they got him sitting on the motorcycle, and everybody was cool. So somebody walked their ass up there and blew the horn on the motorcycle and scared everybody at the funeral, and they ran their ass out of there.
My cousin Fluky Stokes was buried standing up in the car with the money in his hand.
Yeah, and
It
they
ain't
said
traditional.
do not toot the horn on the motorcycle. He up there dead. It scared the man grandmama, and she had a heart attack and ran. They had to take her to the hospital, and she done ran out the church. Now the ambulance coming. The funeral was nice.
Right.
The funeral was nice with him sitting there with his helmet on, Special K, on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but then somebody gonna go start it up and ramp in. Then blow the damn
I don't
horn.
think the helmet was necessary.
I
don't think the helmet was necessary. He wasn't having no more accidents.
I know good talent when I hear it. And you boys got it. I mean, you boys got it.
Yes, Lord, it's Anderson .Paak. And this is Bruno Mars. We are Silk Sonic. And you're checking out the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Turn it up.
Entertainment. Sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. About that time. Alfreda's got your front page. Good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. It's Tuesday, May 20th. Here's what's going on in the news. In New Orleans, a fourth inmate is now back in custody after a massive jailbreak there, the biggest in Louisiana history, according to Governor Jeff Landry. State police say Gary Price, who was wanted for attempted first-degree murder, was caught hiding out in an abandoned house. 6 others are still on the run. Landry is blaming soft-on-crime policies, but the DA pushed back, saying they're digging into what went wrong at that jail.
I was going through jail calls in an effort to try to figure out who might have been involved and knew of this planned jailbreak.
The DA says they're investigating major security lapses at that jail. St. Louis's mayor is calling it human failure after tornado sirens failed to go off before a deadly twister hit. She says the warning system wasn't triggered because nobody pressed the button. Turns out the city's emergency plan was a little fuzzy on who's supposed to do what. 5 people died and dozens were hurt. From now on, the fire department will be in charge of hitting that siren. Charges are being dropped against Newark Mayor Raz Baraka for allegedly trespassing at an ICE detention center. But now, Congresswoman LaMonica McIver is in the hot seat. The DOJ says McIver assaulted and interfered with law enforcement at the detention center. She's calling these charges political. Baraka says he's relieved to be off the hook, but thinks McIver should be as well. Baraka also says he's not letting up on making sure the facility follows Newark's codes. For info on these stories and more, go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com. Now, here's a look at sports.
Rock T, the sports genius, is in the building.
What it is, ladies and gentlemen, game 1 tonight, NBA Western Conference Finals, Minnesota versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, indeed, you're going to be tuned in, handling that business. Listen, it's been about a few weeks since quarterback Shedeur Sanders was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Now that he's settling in, he spoke to the Browns fans.
Really, I feel like the Browns fans, they just want something to hope for, and they've been wanting it so long, so finally, I'm here to change that. I'm here to, actually give what they want.
Let the quarterback competition begin in Cleveland camp, baby. Can't wait for that. This is an interesting story, man. U.S. basketball player Jared Dwayne Shaw played for Oklahoma State and Utah when he was in college, now playing in a pro league in Indonesia. He was arrested for allegedly attempting to smuggle illegal drugs to the country, cannabis, candies, and gummies. Indonesia has an extremely strict drug laws, facing up to life in prison or death penalty.
I don't know why they keep playing with these folks.
I didn't study, man. I did not study that doggone thing. Death penalty?
I don't know why they playing in their face with
And
this
that's not
dope.
even harsh drugs like cocaine or heroin. That's like
sometimes it's executed by firing squad over there.
Well, I wouldn't even order no candy cigarettes off of Amazon
Come on,
if I was
man.
in one of them countries.
Golly.
Nothing.
Last but not least, man, the Boston Celtics was eliminated by the Knicks in the playoffs. But there's a video that has gone viral of Celtics superstar Jaylen Brown appearing to have grabbed the private part of New York Knick Josh Hart. Now, y'all got to go check out my Instagram right now at Rock T Holla. And this is the holla at your boy moment. Let me know what y'all think, man. Did he grab the goods on purpose? Was it an accident? Like,
we know he don't listen on Monday mornings.
y'all go check that. Man, come on, man. You can't do
man
that.
law violation.
That's definitely man law
Anything
violation.
wrong with that?
Yes, it is.
It's a lot wrong with that. You can't touch another man's
Grabbing
situation.
another man's. Come on, man. Jaylen Brown, you should know better than that, dog. Come on, man. So it's posted, man. Go check it out.
No, sir.
Follow me on social media at Rock T Holla. Brad got the hot spot right now.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, y'all, time for the hot spot. Brad, what you got?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brad Tat Tat, and this is the Hot Spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into it. Congratulations go out to Usher. He received an honorary doctorate degree last week from Emory University in Atlanta. He was also the commencement speaker. Check out what his speech said.
This world doesn't need more followers. It needs fearless architects of our future. And that's exactly who you are. Be a dreamer. Never stop imagining. Be better. Fight for a better life. Fight for a better world. The goal is beyond our reach, but we can reach as long as we try. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Now, go out there and let's make it happen.
All right. Well, that's Dr. Usher Raymond speaking to the class of 2025 at Emory University last week. All right, y'all. Slick Rick is about to drop his first new album in 26 years. The project is named Victory, and it drops on June 13th. Both Slick Rick and Idris Elba will executive produce this album. Nas and Estelle will also be featured on this project, which will be a visual album. The project will feature a 30-minute movie, which was filmed in the U.S., the U.K., and Africa. So this is going to be dope. All right, y'all. Oh, let me just mention that May 30th, in 10 days, I'm dropping a new song. So we're going to let y'all hear it.
Stop the press.
Talking about Slick Rick made me remember, like, whoa, I'm dropping a new song too. So I have me and Niecy Nash's wife, Jessica Betts, we recorded a song. We was at my house a little bit at the end of last year, and I'm finally putting it out. I've been holding on to so much music, and I think it's time to finally let it all go. So on the 30th, in 10 days, I'm dropping a song called Have You to Myself. All right, y'all. For more information on these stories and more, you can go to RickySmileyMorningShow.com, and you can catch me on all my social media. So, Brad, yee! Coming up next, we got the White Stone with the Praise Mixdown.
Come on.
The time now is 28 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.